Good day. Ako po pala si Miguel Flores ng COT31B at ang aming pong report ay patungkol sa Emission Control System, Principle, Operation, and Service. Diyos. 3.3 Theory of Operation. Exhaust Gas Recreation EGR as effective strategy to control NOx emission from diesel engine. The EGR reduces NOx through lowering the oxygen concentration in the combustion chamber as well as through heat absorption. Ang EGR ay isa sa pinaka-importante dahil siya ang nagko-control sa paglabas ng NOx para sa pangmakinang diesel. At syempre, ano nga ba yung NOx or nitrogen oxide ay isa sa pinaka mapaminsala o air pollution siya dahil sa ang lason sa hangin. Proceed tayo sa video na ating papanoorin.
The principal function of the exhaust gas recirculation, or EGR system, is to reduce the amount of oxides of nitrogen, or NOx, that is produced during the combustion process. NOx is created by the high combustion temperatures that allows the nitrogen and oxygen in the air-fuel mixture to combine and form oxides of nitrogen. A combustion temperature of at least 25
Kailangan ma-achieve mo yung high temperature 2,500 Celsius para makuha mo yung NOx. Dahil importante siya sa kotse.
500 degrees Fahrenheit is required for the oxygen and nitrogen to combine and for NOx. The EGR valve is used to lower combustion temperatures by allowing a metered amount of spent exhaust gas into the intake manifold. This inert gas takes up some of the volume in the combustion chamber that would normally be filled with the air-fuel mixture. The exhaust gas that is recirculated into the intake manifold is called an inert gas because it does not burn. As the exhaust gas does not contain the fuel necessary for combustion, the air-fuel mixture is diluted as it enters the combustion chamber. Replacing a part of the volume in the combustion chamber with the inert exhaust gas reduces the peak combustion temperatures below
2,500 degrees.
The level necessary to produce NOx.
Produce po tayo sa isang topic. (3.4) EGR effect on drivability. EGR works by recirculating a portion of an engine's exhaust gas back to the engine chamber. The exhaust gas displays atmospheric air reduced to O in the combustion chamber. Reducing the amount of oxygen reduces the amount of fuel that can burn in the cylinder, thereby reducing peak in cylinder temperature. Yung 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 EGR at ang oxygen o yung O2 ay importante dahil siya ang nagko-control sa temperature ng cylinder upang makontrol ang paglabas ng gas at pagputok ng cylinder. Syempre yung heat kasi nun mataas kaya kailangan makontrol siya. At may papanoorin po tayong video.
Exhaust gas recirculation, EGR for short, is an important pollutant reduction method in petrol and diesel engines. Here we can see its basic structure. Exhaust gas is taken directly after the cylinders. Then, the EGR valve regulates the subsequent mixing of the exhaust gas with the intake air. This means that less oxygen reaches the cylinder.
Kaya pagbaba ng intake, mas mahina na yung oxygen niya.
Less oxygen means a lower combustion temperature. This way, nitrogen...
So, siyempre, yung nitrogen, kailangan yan, siyempre, mababa na yung oxygen niya. Papasok na yun si nitrogen dyan. Pagka pumasok si nitrogen dyan, kailangan mas mataas ang gagamitin ng nitrogen. Tulad nga kanina sabi ko, 2,500 Celsius. Para mas malakas at saka mas maganda yung takbo o yung putok ng intake mo.
Oxide quantities can be reduced by up to 70%. As the higher the temperature, the more harmful nitrogen oxides are produced. In petrol engines, this can also reduce carbon dioxide emissions and fuel consumption. A key component of exhaust gas recirculation is the EGR valve. It meters the quantity of exhaust gas that is returned. EGR valves come in various designs and models, pneumatic or electrical, for petrol or diesel applications, or with connections for cooling. Regulating throttles are used in the intake air system in diesel vehicles. They generate the pressure difference required between the exhaust gas side and intake side to achieve the necessary high exhaust gas recirculation rates. Air mass sensors are required in diesel engines to regulate the exhaust gas recirculation, for example. With their help, the mass of the recirculated exhaust gas is calculated indirectly using the reduction of intake air. Since simple exhaust gas recirculation has no longer been sufficient to fulfill emission standards for some time, EGR coolers are used. Cooled exhaust gas reduces the peak combustion temperature even further. This again significantly reduces the amount of nitrogen oxides. Just like all components in the EGR system, EGR coolers are exposed to the extreme conditions of the aggressive exhaust gas condensate. They must therefore be manufactured from highly corrosion and temperature-resistant materials. Many of today's EGR coolers feature an electrical or pneumatic bypass flap. They allow the exhaust gases to be directed past the EGR cooler in the warm-up phase to quickly bring the engine and catalytic converter to operating temperature. This also reduces noise generation, the so-called diesel knock, and the raw emission of hydrocarbons in the warm-up phase. Bypassing is also possible if high exhaust gas temperatures are required, for example in the recovery of the diesel particulate filter. The previous high-pressure exhaust gas recirculation system is no longer sufficient for meeting the limit values as of Euro 6 and Tier 2. an additional low-pressure EGR system is required. With this system, the exhaust gas is taken after the particulate filter on the low-pressure side and added again before the turbocharger compressor. An exhaust gas flap provides the exhaust gas back pressure required for this. Pierburg is a significant contributor to the current
Yung petrol, unang-unang nilikha ng taong 1970.
state of the art.
Tapos nung nagkaroon lang ng diesel na EGR nung taong lang 1980. Napakatagal ng agwat nila, 10 taon.
The first EGR systems were used in some petrol-driven vehicles as early as the 70s. In the 90s, this technology also began to be used in diesel vehicles.
3.5 EGR system inspection. EGR systems usually do not require regular maintenance. Sign of a manufacturing EGR valve or its related components indicate engine spark, knock, under acceleration, through idle, stealing, and reduce power. To determine if your car has an EGR system, refer to the Vehicle Emissions Control Information or VECI label underneath the hood, which will call out this emission subsystem if so required. Is if you suspect a problem with your vehicle's EGR system, have a check out by a professional technician. A manufacturing system, if negotiate long enough, can cause engine damage. Siyempre, bali yung EGR ay hindi naman lagi daw na kailangan i-maintenance o palitan. Siyempre, bali kasi yung ng mga kadalasan na nagiging sanhi naman ito ito tulad nitong ito tulad nitong spark knock under acceleration, tulad niyan yung yung ano nga niyan ay parang nagkakaroon siya ng katok sa makina, yung ganun. Tapos yun lang. Kadalasan ganun, yung matunog siguro kailangan niyo linisan, i-overhaul, parang ganun siya. Tapos yung isa naman, yung road idle, yung maaring barado na yung yung fuel tank strainer or yung fuel injector mo, barado na, parang mga ganun siya. Maaring linisan yun. Gagamit ka ng gas, tapos sabon, tapos ano mo siya, lilinisan mo siya para mawala yung mga barado niya. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. Thank you po. Mag-ingat po kayo palagi.